Hello everyone, welcome back to alkaline hydroxide 784, and today in the history series we'll be looking at the last episode of this series, which is paper 2 team 3. And as I mentioned last time, well, I actually don't really have notes for it. I mean, I do have my school notes, but I don't want to just go around looking through the school notes and then trying to, you know, just copy paste kind of thing. So I'm thinking of something different, which is to look through some of the documents that were used in ASEAN or were made in ASEAN, and see what we can get out of these documents. So yeah, let's start. Okay, so we are here in the Center for International Law website, which is part of NUS, its own database. And here we can see many ASEAN documents as well as some other international law documents, as you can see here. But since most of them are ASEAN documents, yeah, I guess I can just click this. And to make things a bit easier to see, let's go from 1967 or a little bit earlier than that maybe until 1980 first, because otherwise you had to go through so many pages of stuff just to get there. So here we have on the third page, the last page, we have the 1967 documents. And if you're curious or if you're a bit confused why I selected like 1965, 1967, that kind of time, it's because ASEAN was created in 1967. And there are a bunch of documents here which include the ASEAN Declaration. And yeah, this is the Bangkok Declaration. So let's look at it in a closer view. So this is a full document. You can actually see it here, and there's even the signatures of the ministers. And yeah, you can see that for the other countries there were the foreign affairs ministers, but in Malaysia the prime minister came to sign it, and I kind of forgot the reason, but there was a reason for that. Okay, and I'm not interested in this part, so let's go to the part where they declare things. So okay, so first, yeah, blah blah blah, this is the name. Then second, this is the aims and purposes. So this is the interesting part, because this is where ASEAN is telling why they were created. So first point here is literally economic growth, social progress, cultural development. And second reason is regional peace and stability through abiding respect for justice and rule of law. Okay. And the third one is collaboration and stuff like that. Fourth one is training and assistance to each other. Fifth one is collaborate in agriculture and things like that. Six is to promote Southeast Asian studies. Seven is to maintain close and beneficial cooperation with existing international and regional organizations. So these are the aims that they declared here. And the very first one is the one that you're very interested to know more about. So that is because, you might be wondering, did ASEAN like really create themselves for the economic growth, or did they create themselves for the security part of it? Because here the economic growth takes first place, like, or at least the first point is about economic growth. And the second point is regional peace and stability, but they don't really explicitly mention the US or the China or USSR. But even though ASEAN was created in a time of the Cold War, it was 1967. And it is, if you're any reasonable history student, you would know that it's very likely that they were created because they wanted to keep themselves safe from like external influences. And by banding together, that's the best way to do that, because they don't have anyone else to take care of them, so they have to take care of each other. And yeah, that's the real reason why they were formed in 1967. So this is what the declaration just says. It just says, oh, this is what you're doing, this is our purpose. And the third one is to carry out all of these things. These are the things that they wanted to do. and that's kind of boring to read. So yeah, this is the actual document, and there's even the signatures at the end. Okay, so that's the ASEAN Declaration, which was signed in Bangkok on 8 August 1967. So I've been telling that the declaration is kind of useless, or at least, I mean, if you see it as a source, that's what you have to say about it. Like, they don't really say much about the argument at hand. And you might be wondering why, because it actually does say that, oh, this is the aim of the association, which is to, have economic growth and stuff like that. Yeah, so if they do put this part of the declaration in there, and the argument is about why ASEAN was created, then yes, indeed, you can use this as ex, you know, a source that says, oh, it was created for economic purposes. But if, let's say, the argument is about something else, or about the intentions of a specific country, then you can't really tell it from here, because this is just a declaration. It just says it's just a collective declaration, and it doesn't reflect the intentions of any one country in ASEAN. Yeah, so that's the first document. And there was a more like elaborate version of this, which is the Concord. Eh, do I have to reset the? Okay, fine, I'll just do that. Uh, okay, so there was this Concord thing, which is in 1976. This is like 9 years later. Okay, and this is the Bali Concord. I think this is one of the other documents they can show, and this has more pages. And the first part is literally like, oh, they reaffirmed their Bangkok Declaration and all the other declarations that they made. And here's more stuff they're talking about. So okay, so this is like, the stability of each member state and of the ASEAN region is an essential contribution to international peace and security. And yeah, this does say that they have to individually try to eliminate any threats to their stability, so that ASEAN itself can be stable. Okay, cool. And oh yeah, the zone of peace, freedom, and neutrality, which I don't know how effective or how like legit it was in the end, but okay, because apparently it took way too long just to do all these things. Okay, so this is kind of boring. So it's basically saying that, just solve all of your problems, and if there's any issue with other countries, please help them solve those problems too. That's pretty much this. It's pretty much what it's saying here. Nothing useful per se. Okay, so uh okay, sure, this trade, stuff like that, trade, uh economic cooperation, social. As you can see, this is how like short the security section is. It's just like one statement and that's it. Continuation of cooperation on a non-ASEAN basis between the member states in security matters in accordance with their mutual needs and interests. Well, I guess it kind of makes sense that they said this, because there were quite a few conflicts between individual, like two countries, and not everyone at the same time, unless you're talking about the South China Seas. Well, that's a whole nother problem. But this is meant for those situations where two countries have a problem, and then they just come and meet at a golf course or so some other casual location, and then just talk it out and you're done. That's basically how they work in ASEAN. So yeah, that's the Concord. Let's see if there's any other documents on this page itself. This is the zone of peace, freedom, and neutrality. This is a Zofwan. Zoflan. Mm, This is the part that they usually put in the sources, and yeah, it just says, oh, we just we do efforts to do this thing, and that is kind of not very helpful to tell anything. So that's why these documents are generally somewhat not that helpful, because they're just declarations, so you can't really derive a lot from there. Okay, so I guess this is kind of boring. Let's look at something else. So now I'm gonna change this to 1980 until 2000. You can see there's so many in like 1990s. This is the industrial joint ventures. Okay, cool. Let's look at that one. I can't remember something about this. It's the one with the company involved in it, like Nestle and all that. Okay, so let's look at this. I haven't seen this before actually. I just want to see what it is. Like I like how they need to specify this. They have to change 3 years to 4 years and all that. Okay. Uh, I don't see anything useful in this. So, I'm just gonna close this. Okay, let's just go to the interesting stuff. They have a supplementary oh my gosh, they have a supplementary agreement as well. Hmm. Yeah, so this is basically all the documents that are here. And I'm just like wondering how they figure out what are the documents that they should actually show in the source based question. Look, the Manila Declaration. This is what I want. Okay, cool. So this is also 5 pages. Uh yes. And now Brunei is here as well. Very interesting. Okay, so what did they declare? So the very first statement is strengthening resilience to ensure security, stability, and growth, and this is in 1987. Uh, yeah. So this is regionalism. Mm. Actually, in 1987 is like very close to 1990, right? Then 1990, the Cold War ended already. Oh well. So look, this is a very interesting thing, because around that time there was this issue in Cambodia, otherwise known as Kampuchea. I think I hope I'm saying this correctly. Where Vietnam decided to invade Cambodia, and ASEAN was like, okay, we're going to um, you know, I suppose solve the issue, or like try to get this issue flagged up in UN and then try to get it solved. But in the end, it was the UN that did the actual solving part of it. So I'm not sure whether their role is the best, like the biggest role, or is it just more of like, you know, oh, something's going on. Can you like help solve it? And then UN takes over and that's it. I don't know. Yeah. So there's something about that. And here there's also, oh, about the Zofa. Oh well. And this thing as well. Okay. Right. Economic cooperation. Yeah, this is the same scheme that they're talking about forever and forevermore. They just keep mentioning the same thing again and again, because things don't actually get done that quickly. And dialogue partners. Okay, cool. I think their main focus at the time was the Cambodia problem, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's the Manila Declaration. So now let me go to, okay, so this is I think we already saw like Manila, so let me go to something that's a bit later than that. Okay, so 1990s, was there anything interesting here? Oh look, South China Sea, ASEAN Declaration on the South China Sea. This is going to be probably the only interesting thing here. Yeah, so we have Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand here. Oh, this is actually quite short. Okay, so the main part of it here is, hmm, okay, who? So like they're just saying, okay, we're all against we're all near the South China Seas and we need to be harmonious and not have conflicts within ourselves. Oh well. So they need to resolve all the issues without force. And they can't really use force anyway because China is, kind of a very big superpower in terms of security and using force in general. So it's a bit hard to go against China in that regard. And yeah, this and also they don't want to end up having a lot of internal squabbling, even though they do have that a lot of potential for that happening. If they do that, then they can't really have a united front against China in terms of the South China Seas issue. So yeah, this the cooperation in terms of all these things, and they actually did have some kind of setup where I think Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia did some setup to fight piracy. I think so. Was it in? Yeah, I think so. Three countries, and the problem is, even though they had that, apparently once the pirates go into another country's territory, the police of the country that they were no, that were chasing them can't really enter the other country's territory. So that's a problem. Okay, oh, Treaty of Amity and Cooperation. Okay. Uh I'm not sure if I missed that one out, but okay, I don't think that's very interesting to look at either. Okay, I think this was another thing that was interesting to see. This is the environment and development. I think it's regards to the haze or something. I don't know. I think that one was later, but okay. So this is about the environment kind of stuff. Let me see if it's anything to do with the haze. uh, let me see. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty useless too. Okay, can. Oh look, here's another revised revision on the the joint venture thing. Okay. Is there anything else here? No. Okay, can. I think like after 2000, there's quite a few interesting things. So, oh yeah, this is another Bangkok Declaration in 1995. This is a bit different, I think. So in 1995, what is the difference in the declaration? So now they are trying to incorporate all of the Southeast Asian countries. So their focus already changed. They don't care about the security as much as they just want everyone to be united and the network to exist. Yeah. So mm, yeah, they just repeat everything that they were talking about last time, like all the documents that they did last time. See, oh look, they actually mentioned post Cold War era. Okay. Oh, so they actually have this interest in trying to get some representation in the Security Council. That's actually pretty interesting to note. Although I'm not sure how effective their efforts were at getting some representation there. So this is greater economic integration. Uh, oh look, 1998. Wonder what happened in 1998. Oh no. Actually, you know what? Let's look at 1998 because I think there's probably something interesting there. Hmm. Oh look, Myanmar and Laos. So they joined around that time only. They joined quite late. Okay, let me see if there's anything on the 1998 stuff. Oh, there's a Jakarta Declaration of Environment and Development. Oh, this is the one I was talking about. I wanted to talk about the haze. I wanted to look at this thing. This is the haze one. Okay, so this is the one that's related to the haze issue, and yeah, it's quite comprehensive. I mean, concise yet comprehensive. It just says, oh, there's a lot of haze, and then these countries were affected and stuff like that. Okay, cool. Uh, oh, yeah, this is the 1995. They had the plan on transboundary pollution. So let me find that one. Uh, I can't find it. Oh no. Okay, so this is, yeah, they're trying to prevent haze. That's the point of this document. And yeah, there's some guidelines on what they should curb and all that stuff. Yeah, they have a deadline which obviously that usually never gets fulfilled in ASEAN. The deadlines always keep like, pushing behind in a sense. And they even had like this plan to have this whole cooperation to help Indonesia not have haze. But in the end, Indonesia was quite, reluctant to get help. Like, it's like that situation where you don't want to be dependent on other people. And in the end, it took way longer for things to happen in the sense because of that issue. Yeah, so here I think there was the main part of it was about getting all this information, the information sharing between all of them. And okay, let me see, is there anything useful? They have a task force for this. Is there anything in 1998? Oh, Hanoi. Let's do a Hanoi declaration. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, Cambodia drawing. Uh, Let me see if there's any like if that document related to the what is it under the Asian financial crisis, the one that's related to that. So I think that one was after the Asian financial crisis. So they did that whole thing after the crisis ended. So let me see where it is. So Cambodia transnational crime. I think this one will be about the piracy thing. I think this is one of the things that, oh wow, why does this have so many things in here? Okay. Uh uh See, they have a center on combating transnational crime, which is the piracy stuff. So they have police officers and all of those things. It's not just piracy, but other things as well. Like, the illegal stuff movement. So I didn't know they have such a database, but okay, cool. They have a database and then they have like the laws and all of the countries. They have all this fancy technology to catch people. And I think, after some time, it was actually quite good at doing its job of catching, criminals and stuff. But at the same time, there's still a lot of loopholes and cracks. And that's why we still see a lot of people being arrested today for such crimes. Otherwise, they would have already been caught in along the way here. You know what I mean? Yeah. Uh, right. I don't know why I bothered clicking this. Okay, let's go to the 2000 to 2010, because that's where the interesting stuff is, especially 2009. I'm gonna go to 2005 around there first. Okay, so this is 2003, ASEAN India. Okay, oh, Concord 2, ASEAN Japan. So they had a lot of plans with a lot of countries. Oh, look, this is the ASEAN plus 3 summit. Cool. I don't think I really want to read it though. Or this is something to do with the poultry. This is it not H1N1. Oh, SARS. This is related to SARS, I think. Okay. Oh, this is the one with China, where they tried to. I think there's something to do with the South China Seas. Is it? Or is it just about catching criminals and stuff? Uh, no, it's nothing useful. Fine. Okay. I'm just gonna go to 2005. Okay, so in 2005, what happened? Oh, US as well. And then, yeah, once again on the avian influenza. Okay. Oh, this with, uh, Korea and I believe there was one where there was Korea and Japan on the currency thing, right? I guess I probably missed it out already. I mean, I'm not that interested in looking at it right now. So it's 2006. So you know what? I'm just gonna go to 2009. Oh look, this is the ASEAN plus 3. Uh, I believe there's something that I wanted to look at here. Something to do with the South China Seas. Okay, I think we are actually kind of done. There isn't anything else much to see here. Oh yeah, we are done. Yeah, like I don't think we have anything else that we can do here. And this is just a heads up that you can actually see all of these documents here from 1967 until 2020. So yeah, just go ahead and access this if you are interested in looking at the documentation. It is completely free to access and anyone can access it. So yeah, cool. um and with regards to ASEAN, I think uh, you know, knowing how to use the sources is the best thing you can do. So please do understand the context under which all of the sources were created or done. So that will help you explain what you need to explain much more credibly and easily without having to feel very confused as to how to use the sources. And do not hesitate to say that the source is useless. As you can see, most of the documents don't really have a lot of useful information in terms of a history standpoint. I mean history student doing an SBQ kind of standpoint. Of course, it is still useful to some extent in a history standpoint because you have a record of what they did at what time. But all it does is just say what they did. It doesn't say why they did the thing or what is their intention behind doing the thing. And that's why documents are generally not very useful, and you can actually say that when you're doing your explanation. You can just say, oh, the document just says that they are going to focus on economic cooperation, but it doesn't really say whether that why they want to do it or whether that is what they truly want to do in a sense. So that is the idea behind showing you all of these documents, is to just help you understand what these documents kind of look like and how useless they can actually be in terms of a SBQ essay. But at the same time, they can still be useful to understand what happened at what time, and you can actually realize just how many more documents there are compared to what you see in the source-based questions. Yeah. So that's about it. I hope you found this video useful. I'm sorry I didn't have any notes. I guess that would have probably been more useful than this, but at least I showed you this cool place, website, I mean. And if you found this video useful, please do press the like button and subscribe. And before I say thank you, I would like to say that the series will probably end here unless you want me to make more episodes related to anything. For now, I'm not going to put any more new episodes in the history series. Next week will be another like a random episode, and like afterwards I will start on whatever new series I was planning on as suggested in the the updates video. Yeah, so that's about it. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please press the like button and subscribe. And with that, I would like to say thank you and bye.